Looks like we're live.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Hey, everybody.
Everybody hear us? We okay?
Yeah, hopefully. I think I got the
like I'm not
the right microphone
here
on.
yet.
Now, don't you turn on that? Don't you turn on that?
Hold on. It's not turning it on.
I mean, don't you do the tab? Make sure the volume's down because you always do the volume thing, and then I get distracted because I hear my own voice bouncing back at me.
Got to reset that shit. Okay.
All right. We're doing 2 live streams today. We're doing this one, what's our regular matinee show, and we decided, like I said, that we're going to start live streaming some of our regular episodes as well. And we decided to do this one as a live stream, so we will be doing that tonight at 7 p.m.
Yeah, 7 o'clock is going to be a good live stream. You guys are going to enjoy it, so make sure you guys show up for it.
Yeah, we're doing.
And I want to see some fucking flash bulbs. I want to see some goddamn flash bulbs on that one. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna do 3 cases, and I'll be loaded by the time.
I'm sure you probably will be because actually I was actually gonna do 4 cases, but then I thought no, that's gonna be way too long because the 3.
She's trying to bite off more than she can chew. She does this shit regularly. Well, I'm gonna do 3 cases. I'm gonna do 2 cases. Next thing you know, show's tries to push like 5 hours long. Although, when we're recording them, I have to stop and I go, Jenny, you sure you want to do that case? Look how much time we got left. This thing's going to be fucking 3 hours long. She's, I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get through it. That's what she does because, I know her. She is.
Well, yeah.
So she's going to do.
I'm paranoid about not having enough stuff to talk about. It's weird because when we did the Italian serial killer show, I only had 2 cases.
I can stretch that shit out.
And but that only ended up being 2 hours. And some people were like, "What? It's only 2 hours long?" Because usually it's like 2 hours, 3 hours. That was shit. I should have done 3 cases. God damn it.
That was Emotional Landscapes that said that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, God damn it. And we went off on a lot of tangents on that one too.
Yeah, she accused me of being a trained killer. And I said, it's about love. And I sent her a link. She didn't get
it's 7 p.m. Eastern time, not Central time. Like tonight we're gonna do the show. Like I said, but we're gonna do 3 cases. Like I said, we're gonna do 4, but then when I was reading
3 hours
the notes,
from now. 3 hours from now.
When I was no, it's not 3 hours from now.
It's 4 now, right?
No, it's 2.
Oh, it's 2? Okay.
You don't even know what
I know what time it is.
It's 5 hours.
It's about 5 hours from now.
It's like, holy crap, I'm gonna need a nap before that and everything like that.
I'm gonna take an old man nap.
I might take an old lady nap. Well, just because and Saturday is kind of the only day that I allow myself to sleep in. But of course I couldn't sleep in because Pookie found a roach.
Yeah. And she was killing it this morning.
And was also trying to wake us up, to tell us that she found a roach and that we needed to take care of the problem. So it's like at 6 o'clock, she was banging around in the house and everything like that. But at least she got it, She's a good girl like that. Rich gets in the house, she kills the thing. All right. So
everybody's saying hi. What's up, everybody?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for dropping by.
Yeah. I woke up this morning and Pookie, I saw her over there going bah, 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 smacking something. I said, that must be a roach.
Yeah, because she's
a big old palmetto bug. Yeah. And then she's trying to bite it, but she knows that they're nasty. So she pulls back at the last minute. No, I'm not going to bite it. I got to bite it. No, I don't want to bite it. she wants to kill it, but she can't.
So you just kind of
bring herself to bite it. Yeah. So she doesn't lie. She's a good guard cat. She doesn't let any of those things come in.
Yeah. As soon as the roach comes in, if she sees it,
because it rains here and they can go right through the sliding glass doors and then go right underneath the door. They try to get in the house.
Yeah.
And they're fucking mean.
Yeah.
They'll rear up and look at you and shit as you approach them. But they're healthy. Yeah. They're fucking like they're on roids. They're like, get away from me. They fucking rear up like a fucking praying mantis.
Yeah.
And that's a badass roach when you see those.
Yeah, they're horrible things.
They're palmetto bugs. They're not like this little German cocker. They're fucking big. They're like the size of a grasshopper.
Yeah.
Bigger than a cricket.
It's pretty nasty.
Yeah. And they're red.
Yeah. Like reddish brown.
It's a thing that they have here in the South, man. Fucking nasty.
That's why this is one of the things. It's like one of the worst things.
One of the worst things about the place.
It's horrible. Like all the fucking bugs and shit.
And they'll just eat a palmetto tree alive.
Yeah. Well, they make nests in there.
Yeah. You pull the bark off the tree and there's thousands of them.
We had that happen at my grandmother's house because she wanted to take that tree down because it was dying. And my dad went out there and I was like, there's going to be a big nest in there. It was awful. Yeah. I was like, oh, I need to shower forever.
Yeah. The good thing about them is that they're so big, it's hard for them to infest a house because they can't hide.
Yeah.
And I mean, and if they ever kind of take root, you got a problem. So you can fight them.
Yeah.
The ones that are hard to fight are those little tiny ones you can barely see.
Yeah. But like I said, when one gets in our house, Pookie tends, if she sees it, she'll jump on it and kill it and tear it up.
Right.
But yeah, so we're going to do a
time to do the show now.
movie review today. Yeah. This was actually a really good one. This was another Shudder original or Shudder exclusive. I'm not really sure like if there's a difference between those two things. I don't know if like Shudder puts up the money or if they're just showing them or whatever. This is actually one that I think it just came to Shudder June 25th or June 27th. So very, very recently. Or June 27th. That's today. So I guess it was the 25th. I don't know what day it is either. This is a Belgian/Dutch co-production. It's a zombie movie and it's called Yummy.
And this one's got the Tom seal of approval.
I really liked this movie. It was rad.
Yeah, go ahead and see this one.
It's like I do, I don't like to put too much stock in because I don't know if you have Shudder, like they have little skull ratings, like, people can rate the titles or whatever. And, sometimes the ratings, and it's like sometimes the movie only has like 3 skulls, but then I really liked it. Sometimes it has 5 skulls and I'm just kind of like, meh, whatever. And sometimes like people like give bad reviews. This one had 5 and deservedly so. It seemed like a lot of the people that commented were like talking about how fucking great it was. This is definitely one. I know, zombie movies and there's a million of them and people are probably like sick of seeing zombie movies.
It's not really a zombie movie, though.
It kind of is, but
more like Reanimator.
Yeah, it definitely had a Reanimator vibe to it. Yeah. It's like super, super gross and like super gross. So if you're into gore or just like funny, like gore gags, it's not a comedy really, although it had like a lot of comedic moments, I guess.
Yeah.
Would you call it a straight ahead comedy? I don't really think I'd call it a straight ahead comedy.
Well, would you call Reanimator a comedy?
Yeah.
Would you call From Beyond a comedy?
Right.
I mean, it's that tone.
Yeah, it definitely does have.
That's the tone I like.
Yeah,
because it's it's gross. It's got some fucking gross shit in there, but it's entertaining. It's not really depressing you or turning you off. You're like, okay, yeah. And if funny shit happens in it, even though it's fucking horrible.
Yeah,
like dude's dick gets burnt off.
This had some great gags in it that just like made us laugh and laugh and laugh.
Yeah,
it's just so funny.
A bunch of situational humor.
But the cool thing about it too was that, even though it was funny and it was over the top and stuff like that, it definitely did, like the third act was actually like really tension filled, you know what I mean? Where it was like you were kind of worried about, it was like exciting. You were worried if they were going to like escape and you were worried about all this other kind of stuff. So basically, like I said, this is a Belgian-Dutch co-production. I think it premiered, if I'm not mistaken, at South by Southwest Film Festival sometime last year, but it just now came to streaming. And here's the setup of the story is this. So basically it's this girl named Allison and her boyfriend, Michael, and Allison's mom, who I think her name is Sylvia. And they are driving to this real shifty clinic in some unnamed Eastern European country because she wants to get a breast reduction.
Yeah. See, this is the thing, man, about this fucking movie. I got to back up off this.
Here we go.
This chick here, man, she's got a fucking body that fucking won't quit. She looks like one of those Eastern European porn stars, like skinny girl with like an F cup. And she's trying to get a reduction.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend's like kind of going along with it. She's like, it's not
because that's what she wants. And she's like, I'm sick of people like leering at me. It hurts my back. And it's
and all this kind of stuff. And he's just, you don't just like me for my boobs, do and all that kind of stuff. Oh no, of course not, honey. He's got a fucking ring and shit. And as shit goes on in the thing, there's another girl at the clinic who looks pretty hot, and he doesn't quite give her the ring because she's gonna lop them things off. So they've already built the tension where you're trying to save the titties because the titties are at risk. She's gonna go fucking lop.
Titties are at risk.
The titties are at risk, and her mom's with her, and her mom's an old MILF type. You know what I mean? With the same kind of build, and she's like, "You should appreciate what God gave you." That kind of stuff.
And she's going. The mom is going to get a facelift, while they're all at this cheap
facelift,
clinic.
And I think a tummy tuck or something.
Yeah,
wasn't it, to get a kind of
I think so. Yeah.
But the mom was looking pretty good too. You know what I mean, for a woman in her 50s. But she just. So they've already set it up to fucking play with a man's emotions. Okay. From the very beginning of this. Because the boobs are at risk. So
you should have heard him. We were watching this movie. It's so fucking funny.
I was like, figure out a way to save them boobs. Just gotta watch the movie. You just gotta watch the movie.
Well, that's what, in a way, that's what's kind
of a boob man, of course.
Yeah. Well, in a way,
and ass too. I like ass and boobs. Yeah. I like a big full figure on a woman. I'm not into them little skinny women. I'm not into that. You got to have some feminine build. I like a feminine build.
He likes strategically deployed fat deposits.
Exactly. Big legs. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so the thing about it, and that's what I think is so funny too, that the reason this movie is called Yummy is that not only is it like, oh, zombies and they're eating people, so they think human flesh is yummy, but also in the sense that it's kind of about, I mean, the kind of backdrop of it is this, clinic where everyone's trying to like improve themselves, is like, trying to look, as beautiful as possible. And in a way, she's kind of like trying to go against that. Cause like I said, she has like these really big knockers and like a really like a figure that a lot of women would like to have, but it, she doesn't like it. And it doesn't fit. So she wants to get rid of it. And so there's that whole tension with her, with the boyfriend. And then they meet this other dude, like, that as it goes on, like they meet other people, other doctors, other patients and everything. And they start to like, the boyfriend starts to think that maybe this place is like not a place they should be. Cause like I said, they don't say what country this is set in. It's just in Eastern Europe somewhere. I'm not sure if this is true, but I was like listening to another horror channel reviewing this. And the woman on there said that the Eastern European language that the doctors and nurses are speaking to each other is not a real language. Like it's made up. Like it's a variation, but it's not like a real language. Because I think the thing about this, okay, so like I said, it's largely a Belgian movie. So at the beginning, most of the characters are speaking to each other. What do they speak? It's French and
there's
Belgium,
like fucking 5 different languages.
Or something like that. So, or whatever.
And there's no subtitles for the English, and the English accents can get. The accents in English are quite strong. I couldn't understand a lot of the English in it. It doesn't really matter though. A lot of the
this is a very visual movie. It's like you do kind of need to know some of the stuff. But like I said, so a large part of this is actually in English.
Yeah.
But like you said, some of the people's accents are stronger than others. So, whether you can like determine what they're saying. But like I said, it's not hugely important. But when the doctors and nurses speak to each other in this Eastern European language, which I think is called Balkanese or something like that. Like I said, it might be
itching. Hard. Oh, it's driving me crazy. All right, there you go. All right, got it.
And
can't reach it.
So they don't subtitle that, which I thought was like a good move, because it makes it like you're at this fucking clinic and you're at the mercy of these doctors and nurses and you don't know what they're saying and nobody knows. So it's putting you like in the same boat as the protagonist.
Yeah.
But when they all speak to each other, they usually speak, English if it's something else that has to be said.
Now these zombies, they're zombies, I guess, but they're zombies in the way that like they're zombies in the Reanimator. They're fucking around with some kind of stem cell research.
Yeah.
And they had one kind of mutant patient that
they were experimenting on.
Right. And she was dead, but came back to life. And the dudes accidentally let it go because it's a hot chick. They let it go. Well, she didn't have a mouth, but
he thought that she was in trouble.
Thought she was in trouble, right? He didn't know anything about it. And then there was like an outbreak. And they got one thing about it is that it's got a good looking cast. It's got guys for the ladies to look at, and it's got a bunch of good looking girls in it. So it has got a good looking cast. And then some crazy shit happens in it. And
there's just such great
a lot of crazy shit happens.
That's great. If you're, like I said, if you're into gore gags, like Stuart Gordon type stuff, or like Dead Alive or something like that, you will probably love this movie because it is so goopy and just so bloody.
They got this one guy in there. I don't know, was he German or was he French? What is it?
Which guy?
The guy that worked there, the orderly. He had white hair. He was kind of like a goth type guy.
I couldn't figure out if that guy worked there or if.
I think he was supposed to be working there. He worked.
Yeah, maybe
there.
He was like an orderly, but he was just
but he was also like a junkie. He was sneaking all the
stealing all the drugs,
all the morphine and taking it and stuff, and was making a move on dude's girlfriend and saying sideways shit behind her. You know what I mean? And fucking, it was just, you just got to see
just because of the tits. It's that's all he really gave a shit about.
Yeah,
the tits.
Yeah, and actually, he was trying to save him too.
Everyone was trying to save these poor girls.
Yeah, but for
she's like, I really don't want them, but everyone was like, no, you need to keep those. I just thought
everybody was like, what are you doing?
It was just really funny. But like I said, that was the whole thing. But like I said,
and here's another thing: they're not real. It's a falsies. You can tell they're falsies inside.
Yeah, but I mean,
but they're pretending. You know what I mean? If in the movie they're saying they're real, but she's got falsies on.
Well, because I mean, that was the whole point of the character is that and the body
man can tell that they did not have the weight.
Well, and the body that she has is. I don't think I've ever seen anyone with those proportions naturally.
Oh, I have.
You have?
Yes.
It's unusual though.
It's unusual.
It's unusual.
It's genetic. It's a genetic kind
being
of
that small and thin with boobs that large. I mean, I'm sure it does happen, but I'm just saying it's very unusual. Like from a
remember the pictures of that Eastern European girl from the 90s? She was fucking huge in Japan. She didn't really do porn, but she did kind of just nudes.
Yeah.
I forgot to remember what her name was.
Yeah, I remember you.
And she was built about like that. She was skinny with, double G cup.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure it happens, but
you saw her and you were amazed. Yeah. You're like, damn. So it's out there. It's just that it's very rare.
But yeah, so the great thing about this is there's just fucking great shit. I mean, the liposuction gag, just these zombies that are just like, there's pus and blood and fucking organs. And I mean, the one zombie, and I think she's on the poster, so it's kind of like not really a spoiler, but the one zombie with no legs who's like eating her own intestines. The whole dick thing, like that whole sequence.
Yeah.
Because there's a guy there. I like that they had like equal opportunity because there's a guy there who at the clinic who was apparently like some kind of famous person or celebrity. They don't really say like what he's a celebrity or anything like that, but he is there getting a penis enlargement. And after all the shit goes down and the zombie outbreak starts to happen, he decides that, because he's probably going to die or whatever. So he needs to like hook up with this one chick who's willing. It's not like he's, doing it like to her unwillingly or anything, but they're doing this shit. And it's like the funniest shit happens to this dude's crotch. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I laughed and laughed and laughed. And I was just so happy that they went there with it and just did this crazy fucking shit. I mean, another thing too, I have to mention, and I almost kind of wish they had done more of this in the film, which is probably like my only criticism of it. But there's one scene like later on where the boyfriend is looking for because they get separated or whatever. And he's looking for the girlfriend and he goes into this big lab and there's all these jars in there with like all these weird fetuses and like weird, like, animal hybrid type of things. And they come to life, like they're alive. And one of them gets out and it's like, what is it? Is it like a fish, frog, something? It was or a salamander. It looked kind of like a big salamander.
It was like a big gecko. Yeah. Or a salamander. And they must have been messing with its stem cells.
Yeah.
Because it was still alive in that jar.
And it was crawling around and it was crawling around like trying to, but that was a great effect.
And it was big. It was the size of a fucking turtle or a Gila monster.
Yeah. Good. And so it was like, and it was kind of like running around and it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure how they did that. I mean, I'm imagining
it was a puppet.
It was a puppet, but it was a really, really good puppet.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wish they had done a little bit more with the creatures, but I mean, maybe, I don't know. I was going to say maybe they could do a sequel, but I'm not really sure. Like thinking about how it ended, I'm not really sure if they could do a sequel or not. But I did like that aspect of it. And I kind of wish they'd done a little bit more of that with like the creatures in the jars and stuff and them escaping. Because I really liked that one little creature and they could have done more with that. But other than that, I mean, I really liked everything about this one. It was really fun. It was really disgusting. It actually had tension at the end when you were worried if they were going to get out. It had an ending that I wasn't really expecting. Like, I'm kind of glad that they ended it the way they ended it.
Yeah. The ending was almost kind of like something out of The Walking Dead. Tonally.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And I like that they didn't, and maybe this is like a spoiler alert, but I kind of like that they didn't end it like, oh, everything's going to be okay. Or everything, they didn't end it like that.
Basically it ends. It's the beginning of a damn global outbreak.
Yeah. And shit. But I like too that they kind of ended it like in a funny way. It's kind of funny, and then it's kind of horrific at the same time.
Yeah. Bunch of tragic comedy and shit.
Yeah, which I really liked. I just liked the whole tone of it, and I really liked the way it was shot, like the cinematography and everything. I'm pretty sure the name of the director is Lars Damoiseau. Yeah. This might be his first movie. I'm not real sure, or his first full length movie. I'm not really sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody knows,
they're asking if it's kind of like Rabid.
Rabid was a lot more serious, I guess. This one is more, I wouldn't call it a comedy, but it definitely has a comedic tone to it. It's more like Reanimator.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Or maybe like Dead Alive, not quite as zany as that, or as gory as, I mean, nothing's as gory as Dead Alive, but, or Brain Dead if you're in another country. But, you know.
Bee's Nest said Brokeback Mountain gave Zach carpal tunnel. I don't think Zach is on right now, is he?
Yeah, he's right. On? Well, he's right up there.
Okay. Zach, they're talking about you, man.
Wait, because he just commented up here. He says, ass and titties Tom, they calls him.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
Ass and titties. Yeah, it's like, I think that was kind of like, that was another really cool thing that I liked about this movie, because I think this might have been the only time that I've seen a zombie movie that was set in like a cheesy, like a shady plastic surgery clinic. So it was kind of going into that whole shit too, with like, and the whole thing about her boobs and like, and the boyfriend not wanting to say that he didn't want her to get rid of the boobs because she wanted to get rid of the boobs. And there was like all this kind of tension about it.
Yeah. The humor is not PC, which I liked. It was kind of refreshing. They're just like, fuck it. You know, kind of a throwback to some of the horror movies you'd see in the 80s where, you know, young guys would go see those movies because there was going to be tits in them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that just had to be in there. And
well, in the 80s, pretty much every horror movie.
Or they wouldn't go watch it. You know, I mean, it's called fan service. It's that retro fan service. And you know, the guys that directed them and shit had no intention of. They didn't realize that maybe women or girls would be watching that shit. It was just young guys, so they just targeted it right to them. Little did they know, girls were watching them too.
Well, yeah.
But they didn't care. It was just, you know, they wanted to know who would pay for tickets and who would rent it, VHS. And before the advent of porn, of, you know, easy, accessible porn, then, you know, kids would fucking rent that.
Well, yeah.
See some boobs.
Because not only could you see boobs, but you also got to see people get chopped up with machetes. Which
it was fun. It was a fun time.
It is very funny to me, though, how, because I really liked like 80s slasher movies and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, you can say they're, you know, sexist or whatever, but it's like
they weren't serious though.
Yeah, I never really like took it all that seriously. And honestly, I think it's better, you know, nowadays it seems like it's more accepted that women like horror as well. I feel like when I was growing up, I mean, even a lot of my female friends and stuff like that didn't like horror or didn't like it as much. I guess, I don't know. I guess I was like kind of an outlier in the sense that I was like a horror geek. I wanted to like see every single horror movie. I bought Fangoria. I had like the whole thing, like since I was a kid.
Most girls would have wanted
and
nothing.
Most girls would go see a scary movie like every now and then, but it wasn't like, you know, they wouldn't rent them. Like they didn't like super gory ones or anything like that. I feel like it's better. Like it's a lot more accepted now that there are a lot more women that are into horror, that write horror and stuff like that.
During that first part of the fucking 80s, man, the golden age of horror, man, there were two genres that were just teenage male dominated, and that was horror movies and fucking heavy metal.
Yeah.
As soon as Bon Jovi came out and heavy metal started being marketed more towards girls, that was it. I said, fuck this shit. I threw my shit down. Fuck that shit. I'm going goth.
You boarded up the treehouse that said no girls allowed on it.
That shit, man. They fucked it up.
I don't want any of your girl cooties all over my heavy metal.
Because then heavy metal became, you know, because I'm a cowboy on the steels I ride. That shit sucked, man.
I didn't like that.
Wanted.
I mean, I wasn't into metal, but I liked punk and I liked other stuff. So I liked other, like, I guess, male.
It's exaggerated, though.
Stuff.
It's just that, you know, girls didn't listen to fucking Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, and they just didn't. Merciful Fate, you know, they're And then the ones that did listen to it, you know, you didn't want anything to do with them. A lot of times they're like, ew.
I kind of feel like it was that way, like with girls that were into horror too,
Yeah,
which it always kind of made me laugh because even when I was growing up, like dudes, I would hear dudes talk and they'd be like, you know, dudes that were really into horror, they'd always like want a girlfriend that liked horror.
Yeah.
But they didn't actually want to hang out with a girl that liked horror.
Probably not.
They really didn't.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I felt like they wanted like something that didn't exist. Yeah. Maybe
they wanted something that was super, super femmy.
Yeah, super femmy, but was also into like horror movies and heavy metal. Yeah. And you didn't usually get maybe nowadays.
You only saw that in the movies. That did not.
You didn't usually get. I mean, usually women that were into horror back then were
kind of tomboys.
Yeah, tomboyish or geeky or you know, not super like cheerleader types. I mean, you didn't really see that all that much.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of what they wanted, and that just didn't exist. I don't think.
Yeah, it was kind of with girls that were into heavy metal during that era, kind of tomboyish.
Yeah,
you didn't look at them like girls. You're like, ew.
You're not even like
you're not a real. You're not a real girl.
You're not a real girl.
But you know, I guess when they got a little bit, you know, when, like I said though, you know, now Bon Jovi shit happened, and they were wearing all those fringe jackets and fringe fucking boots and
frosted, big frosted hair.
Yeah, and fucking heavy metal started to look an awful lot like country western to me.
It did. There was a little crossover like, during that time, like after about 1986 or so.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is this, man?
See, that's why I was. I'm glad I was just into punk and new wave, man. Like even from the beginning. I
got nothing more to say about that.
All right. Yeah, we've been going on like half an hour, but yeah, if you have Shudder, this is definitely a good one worth seeing, especially if you like super gory. You know, there's tits, there's gore. It's super fun. It's like, I know everybody's like, oh God, another zombie movie, but really this one is a good time. And I really, really enjoyed it a lot. Might watch it again, actually, just because I thought it was so amusing. And I want to see the liposuction thing explode again. Yeah. And then the whole dick gag and that, because that went on for a long time. And I really thought it was really funny. Yeah. What happened?
475. Oh, Melissa's talking about Double G. I don't know what you're talking about, Double G. Who's got Double G's, Melissa? I like to see that.
You said Double G.
Yeah, I probably said all kinds of shit. I say shit and then forget about it.
Yeah, he doesn't, because
I'll see stuff in the comments of them fucking laughing and mentioning something I talked about and I forgot all about it.
Yeah, he doesn't remember.
This shit's just off the top of my head, you know.
Yeah, so like
seriously, demons make me say it.
Yeah, it's like they're working through him.
Yeah,
even 10 minutes later, he won't remember.
No, just channeling it, you know. And I could do it on command, man. I should have been a fucking stand-up comic, probably. But I'd probably get my ass beat. I'd start to. I'd have to fight because I'd say crazy shit when I was.
I don't know about that because it's like you had all those kind of older like comics and stuff that used to say crazy shit.
Yeah, it's true. People,
as far as I know,
start rolling.
Nobody got their ass beat. I don't think. There's
a lot of good ones. I remember fucking when I was a kid, Buddy Hackett be drunk off his ass saying crazy shit. Remember Buddy Hackett?
Yeah, I remember that.
Man.
I don't remember anything that he said though, because it's like that was kind of, I was still a kid then.
Yeah, he was fucking bizarre. And then there's just a lot of them from that 70s era that got away with saying all kinds of shit. Rodney Dangerfield said a lot of fucking funny shit. And then, you know, what was funny is I remembered how funny Eddie Murphy's stand-up was until I went back and listened to it more recently, and it's just like normal shit people say nowadays. But back in the 80s,
yeah, it was groundbreaking.
That was real shocking back then. But you listen to it now, and you're just like, oh,
I feel like nothing's shocking.
Yeah, everybody talks like that.
I literally don't think there's a single thing that you could say that people would be shocked by anymore.
No.
Which I don't know. In a way that's good, in a way it's bad. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Xander's saying they need to get me on ayahuasca.
Oh man.
And innocent demons talking through fucking Tom. Yeah. Richard Pryor was good. Yeah.
I did. Really I liked Richard Pryor a lot as well.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff wouldn't be allowed now. Delirious and stuff. I went back and saw some Eddie Murphy movies that, you know, the Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 are really good. 3 sucked. Golden Child was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I loved that movie.
What else did I see recently that had him in it? The
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Vampire in Brooklyn. I liked that one. The 48 Hours.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I didn't like that one as much as I liked it back in the day.
It was a little dry by today's standards.
It wasn't as funny as I remembered.
And not
like, and not that it wasn't funny and that the jokes fell flat, but it wasn't as much of a comedy as I remembered it being.
Yeah, and
like it wasn't really a comedy.
And it's supposed to be like a real hard-boiled cop flick, but it's not really. It's kind of more like boring.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did notice that actually.
Yeah.
Which was weird because, like I said,
it wasn't back in the day.
Yeah,
it just didn't age
I liked
well.
it back in the old days. But like I said, I remembered it being a comedy.
Yeah,
and it's kind of not.
No,
I mean it has funny shit in it, but it's not like
more like a '70s cop movie.
Yeah, it did kind of seem like that.
Yeah,
but yeah. So anyway,
anything you guys got any questions? Anything to say? Coming to America, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got to get that one. They're making a sequel to that.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Strategically deploy Fed deposits. That's what
I said. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of that fucking. I think she was from Ukraine. That girl.
I can't remember. I can see her face, but I can't think of what her name is.
Svetlana, something or other. You know, it was like one of those kinds. But anyway, yeah, that girl was fucking skinny as a stick with fucking like double G, huge rack on her. She was.
And that was natural?
Yeah. And she was just some kind of supernatural genetic fucking anomaly. And she was
like, that's
really big in Japan. Like they had producers in Japan putting out a whole bunch of money to do basically kind of like nude and semi-nude 2-hour-long videos of her that only something like that would sell in the Japanese market. But a lot of that stuff ended up on the internet, and she never did any porn per se. And then she just retired. She only did it for a few years.
Well, shit, man, if you could just make money walking around like a gauzy beach, like just with flashing your tits around and not have to do porn, then
right. It's basically what she was amazing.
Might as well.
You remember. I
remember.
You were like, God, you were impressed. And she was 18, 19, something. I think, about that. Yeah.
Somebody, Oracle Munn asked, have y'all reviewed the Happy Death Day movies? I think we did when we still did the old matinee show where we did at the theater, we reviewed Happy Death Day to You, the second one, which I really liked. And then I don't think we reviewed the first one, but we did watch it because we watched it we rented it before we saw the second one, which I'm glad we did because I appreciated the second one a lot more. But I actually really like those movies. I like that chick that's in it. She's I can't remember her name at the moment, but she's in the Valley Girl remake, which I heard was kind of terrible. I kind of want to watch it, but then I kind of don't. I'd rather just watch the original again, like with Nicolas Cage as a baby. Well, not a baby, but it's like a 19 or 20-year-old guy. What's the title of this movie? This movie that we're talking about right now? Yummy. Yeah, it'll be on it's on the title thing and everything. Yeah, it's Belgian and came out last year at South by Southwest. Yeah, it says I love the Happy Death Day movies. They were actually really good. Second one wasn't so much a horror movie, it was kind of more sci-fi, but nothing wrong with that. I actually had a good time with them. I thought they were really good and really like creative. All right, so we done with this review. All right, so we will be back live streaming our actual episode 202 in about 4.5 hours from now, about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys
guess what? I found that girl.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Don't get the video demonetized.
I can actually just that's her.
That's right. I remember that.
Let me see.
That's kind of what the girl in the movie looked like build wise. You know what I mean?
See if I can fast forward that. Oh. I don't know. I don't remember what her name was.
Oh, we get
Supernatural.
We just got demonetized.
Nah. Okay.
Oh yeah, somebody says dark on I guess. Oh, he says dark sci-fi. I thought you were talking about the show on Netflix. It's called Dark because I was going to say, oh, that's a really good show. That German.
I don't remember what her name was.
I'd let her give me an uppercut.
Yeah. It's not on the video.
You get hit in the face with a fist and then a tit. All right. So we're going to be back later on today. So everybody come and have a cocktail, or 3 or 7 or however many we end up drinking.
And I might know that girl's name by the time we get back.
Yeah, he'll look it up. So I'll remind you.
Yeah, remind me. Yeah.
All right. So we'll see you guys in just a few hours. And as always, thanks for dropping by. Yes.